Yeah. Yeah.
All right, we're back for round 3.
Here we are. We're still
You're
here.
good to go.
We know what we're doing. We have this on lock.
We got Matt Wise still on Calibrated Blasts.
So,
and, John Parker on Amulet Titan, but really it's just bad jellyfish. Somebody said earlier that, like, oh man, it was actually Patrick playing my deck, and he was like, man, I played Amulet Titan, like, dude, jellyfish, I just had nothing to say, and it's just like, yeah, you did.
So, well, I was talking to John earlier, and he wrote down his rationale for the jellyfish, and it did make sense.
We just haven't seen it, like...
For the meta matchups, it makes sense. He has sound reasoning. I get it. I appreciate it, for sure. It has looked weird on stream, for sure.
Hasn't looked good.
But that's a matchup thing. The thing is, here...
The problem is, if you insert the jellyfish with a Titan, I haven't seen him do amulet-y things.
No, it seems less amulet-y, for sure.
Yeah.
And the thing that sucks about this is as much as the stream has not really enjoyed seeing Amulet.
Nobody's tuning in right now.
This is just like the worst thing to watch ever, because it's just...
Yeah.
It's Amulet, and then it's Calibrated Blast. And
but the good news is we're going to get out of here in a decent hour, except for the fact that we've got the wild card that is Matt Wise. And
right.
like his deck should win really quickly. It really should. Yeah. This is a deck that Matt should play because we need to get him in and the fuck out. But like somehow I feel like they could use all 48 minutes because Matt Wise is the wild card guy here. That's just my thoughts.
Yeah, no, this is Escape Grace 7. We are not super excited about this pairing, but it was the best pairing we had, so please bear with us.
It was the undefeated. These guys are playing for an invitational point, so that's why.
It's not the most.
That's why we're doing it.
It's not the most exciting. Yeah, I mean, that's a pretty good assessment.
That's exactly what it is. That's very good.
Two people whacking it and trying to avoid eye contact.
I feel like you have a very good grasp of the modern format.
Somebody's going to get shot in the eye.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we're like...
But it's cool. We can just talk shit about them the whole time. Yeah. It's fine.
We could go off on tangents. Hey, give us a subject matter, and we'll just go to town on that.
Yeah.
And then you can incidentally watch this nonsense.
Watch these guys go to town on each other.
Fucking solitaire magic.
Yeah.
Or listen to whatever nonsense we're talking about. But yeah, no, it's not exactly what we want to see. It's just is what it is. Here we are. So, we're trying, guys. We're trying. Sometimes this is it, because this is what Wizards of the Coast has afforded us the game to be, because there's never been anything to prevent Amulet Titan from being a thing.
All right, this is already more amulet-y than anything you did last week with this.
For sure. This actually feels like
extra lands is the way to play Amulet, for those of you who don't know.
Okay, so Matt just might... I think Matt's going to get murdered. Matt's getting murdered. Because you can't kill him here. So he's dying next turn.
It's one to you, motherfucker. That's what he says.
Yeah.
That's how you say it.
Motherfucker.
That's how if I was playing it at the event next week or in 2 weeks, that's what I'd say. Like, one to you, motherfucker.
You gotta like pump your
fucking
chest
desert.
too. Just like fucking
sun scourge.
Get up out of your seat a little bit. Pump your chest like a fucking
one to you.
All right. So yeah, Matt's fucking dead here.
I don't know if that's true. If John has a Titan, does he have a Titan?
He's fucking dead, dude. He's got to be dead.
Like last week we saw him have.
If he has a goddamn jellyfish and Matt's not dead, then I'm going to have words with John.
I have no confidence in John's ability to close with this deck.
Please show me a Titan, John.
I didn't see it last week.
Because if he has a Titan, then...
It's probably a jellyfish, and then he's going to die.
God damn it. I don't want to see that. Titan! Oh, it's that other fucking dude they play now. Okay. Make 6 mana. 7 mana.
This thing doesn't have haste. He could just die.
Well, it's gonna. He still has 1 turn because Matt can only do 15 to him at most. Draw. Yay! This is so exciting. Untap triggers. Yada yada yada.
John, I feel you can be more professional about this match.
I hate this fucking deck, dude. I really, really, really hate Amulet Titan. I always have. It is. I respect what Matt's doing more than this fucking nonsense. Because Matt just fucking concede, dude. Concede.
Does he have the mana to do all this?
He does. Yeah.
How?
He had fucking 2 amulet triggers. He just made 6 mana from the fucking things coming in. They untapped and yada yada and fucking derp.
Matt's picking it up. All right.
Thank you, Matt. We appreciate that. Some fucking nonsense. We don't need to sit through this shit.
We're making good time.
Just show us the shit and be done with it. We don't need to sit through this. Oh, God.
Making great time here.
I fucking hate Amulet, man. I hate that deck so much. It's probably my most hated deck, really.
Oh, not me.
What's yours?
My most hated deck. I don't know, man. I don't even know. I can't even choose.
So, Scapegrace 7, I don't wholly agree with that. He says it's a pity that skill doesn't determine magic success.
That's just not true.
It is not.
That's just not true at all.
It is not true in an absolute sense at all.
I 100% disagree with you.
There is.
Come in with any 2 decks and I'll beat you with both. That's my gauntlet to you.
They are greasing the wheel with the power creep and magic to make unskilled players do better and better. But if you take really skilled player versus an unskilled player, the skilled player will still do better than the unskilled player most of the time. So I know where you're coming from. They are greasing the numbers. Things are skewing way more than they should, but I don't think that's absolutely true yet. They're fucking trying.
Like in Modern specifically, like the unfair decks are kind of like ruling the format and to an extent, but like those decks still take skill to play.
Yeah, no, and so Scapegrace says at the FNM level you can buy wins by bringing uninteractive decks that don't require skill. That's absolutely true.
Do you play here? Who is it? Do you play here?
That does happen. But that depends on the skill of the opponent you're playing. If you can buy wins if your opponents are bad. Yeah, no, it's fair enough, but it depends. There's a lot of variables to that statement. Like, if your opponents are good, you're not going to absolutely just buy wins by having powerful shit.
You can do that at the FNM level, but I mean, like, this is a pretty competitive store, but like at your standard FNM store, like, I mean, buying wins, I mean, I think you're kind of a dirtbag for playing Amulet Titan at the typical, like, this is a very competitive store.
Yeah, when a quarter of your people are high schoolers that can't afford anything.
Yeah.
Like, it happens.
Yeah, if your average modern deck is like a converted standard deck, then sure, it's buying wins. But here, I mean, like, this is a super competitive store, so I mean, it
happens, but it depends on who is playing and what they're playing. Like, it does happen. It does happen. I'm not going to say that it doesn't, but it does. There are variables to it. Not everybody can do that, and it doesn't always secure things. Because we've seen lots of guys. Actually, there's a guy that used to come here and play that was terrible, and he just invested into the most expensive, best deck that he could at the time, and he was fucking trash, man. And he couldn't win a goddamn game.
The other thing is that uninteractive decks, like, if you just take a green player off the street, they're not going to be able to pilot Amulet Titan. Like,
no, exactly.
Like, it's like, yeah, for you and me, yeah, maybe, maybe it's easy, but like, sure, and you absolutely can do that. You can pilot like Tron, Burn, Amulet. You can pilot them poorly and win, sure. But I mean, you can also pilot a good deck well and lose. I mean,
yeah, it's just the variance, and that's so that the real thing is, we all know what the game is now, and we all know that those things happen. at times. We don't want them to, but they do. And we know if you're an experienced, skilled player, you're aware of the situation and you're aware of how to hedge against that happening.
Also,
so,
how are we putting burn in this?
if you can't know how to hedge against those things, and if you can't get around the reality that those things sometimes happen, then you probably should just play a different game, because they are what they are. Like, things are what they are. So if the probability of that happening is not good for you, then I mean, it is what it is, man. Like, maybe there's a different game that's better for a person. I agree.
I've seen a lot of, like, some of these, like, combo-y decks, like Tron. Like, Tron especially, you can see bad players win with Tron. It's annoying. I think Burn on your list is a little weird. Like, yeah. Like, honestly, if you're losing to Burn, I think, like, you're just kind of bad. Like, I feel like that has less to do with an unskilled pilot and more to do with a unskilled opponent.
No, and that's so what you're saying is true, and the game does reward skill less and less, and it is Wizards. Wizards is doing that, and it is what it is. Like, we can't stop them from doing that. We can't stop new players from coming in. We can't make new players play things that are more skill intensive. We can't make these things happen. They are just what they are. So if we're going to play the game, we are stuck with this situation, and we have to deal with it the best that we can.
All right, let's see the hands.
Hands? Oh, Jesus. That is Matt mulliganing. Oh, yeah, that's... Any deck that has to fucking mulligan like that thing.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm not down for that deck. I don't want to have to mulligan bullshit cards.
The fact that Matt is 2-0 with this deck just shows the skill, because this deck is fucking atrocious. Jesus Christ. How does anybody get a win with this piece of shit?
No, we bitch about it all the time, Scapegrace 7, on where Magic has gone and how far removed it is from what the game used to be. So we know what you're saying. No. But for real, like, skill still means a lot, really. For, like, long-term success, long-term longevity in a competitive scene, skill still means a lot. They reward bad players. They encourage shitty deck building. They encourage power creep. That's what they do. But skill is still at the core of the game. And that's the problem. They encourage commander play, and commander play is bleeding into the rest of the game.
And I appreciate the topic. I was thinking something more along the lines of, like, how to get cum stains out of a straitjacket. You know, like you know, like real life advice, like where you can, like, learn something. But no, this is good too.
Yeah.
All right. Extra lands. Okay.
So
John plays a card that allows him to play extra lands.
Yeah. And I still think he's way the fuck ahead from what Matt's doing. Yeah.
Calibrated blast. Maha!
Not quite there.
Die, bitch.
Not quite there.
No, not doing that.
Yeah, no. This is just not.
How does his deck ever win? I mean, he could win. He could actually win.
He could. He wins by hoping his opponent does 4 damage to themselves.
Yeah. Or that's really he has to do 15 plus. Oh, you gotta be sad is if he does, like, the calibrated blast and hits him for 15, and then does it again and hits him for a calibrated blast and takes him to 1. I want that to happen so bad right now.
I was just talking to Matt, like, the thing that his deck really needs is fucking Fire Blast.
Oh. Yeah. I mean, but if you just play Burn, like,
right?
Yeah. Apple cider vinegar.
Oh, okay. Cover stains. There you go.
All right. Yeah, that might work. That might work.
Yeah, no. I mean, like, for what that topic at hand, like we were saying earlier, like, me and Dustin are both fair Magic players. We don't like to play the things that are unfair.
That's not true. I mean, I play Living End.
That's pretty unfair. But, I mean, at our cores, your control, like, we both play fair shit. We don't want to see what it is Magic's turned into. But here we are.
I just like modern. I mean, I like... Here's the thing. I don't bitch about the unfair decks because I'm glad they exist. Because if every deck was fair, it'd be boring as shit.
It would
I've been through enough
sure.
standard formats where it's literally just a bunch of creatures bumping into each other, and that's not fun.
Yeah,
the fact that you have to build for everything, and that your mid-range deck has to be the fair decks and the unfair decks and the control decks.
Sure, exactly.
And the super hyper aggro deck. Like, the fact that there's like variance and people can play whatever the hell they want, that's fine. Like, I'm glad that exists. It makes what I do that much better, like that much more fun.
For sure.
Now, granted, I'm still gonna give shit to the people like Matt, who everything he plays is a combo deck. And you're right. You said it earlier. He doesn't want to play Magic. No, you're right, Tom. Living in is fun as shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, you're right. Matt doesn't want to play Magic. Like, I give him shit for that all the time. But like, Matt's a good Magic player. Like, I give Matt shit, but Matt is a really good Magic player, and it's really just his choice. I mean, he can take your deck and probably beat you to death with it. I mean,
that dynamic is what's important, because like for me, as the fair player, the intrinsically fair player, like I take pride in the wins against the unfair shit. Like the dynamic is important. That's what makes the experience that it is.
How does he have a calibrated blast, but his opponent's at 19? What did I miss?
Counterspell, I guess. I don't know. We weren't really paying attention.
No, we weren't paying attention at all. Like, we were doing terrible.
We have conversations to be had.
Yeah.
While people, I don't know how he's. Yeah, I don't get it.
What happened? Did anybody catch that? Was anybody paying attention? Let's talk about this apple cider vinegar and these cum stains on the straitjacket. I mean, I think the real answer is stop fucking crazy bitches.
Alright, so Titan got there.
Oh, wow, okay.
That was so interesting. It just blew by.
Okay.
Here we are.
Matt, your deck sucks. That's all I have to say. Your deck sucks. Can't even beat Titan.
Alright,
so... I was paying attention. See, this is why it's so much better. This is the 10 o'clock. We don't even give a fuck.
Yeah, there's things happening.
John gets the point. John is qualified for the Invitational.
Yep.
So, good news for John.
So we will try to. I mean, we try when we can, man. We really do try
to not put Titan on because, dude, it's like
we don't want to fucking see it.
Every time you put, like, if you've never like streamed live Magic before, Titan is like a fucking polarizing thing. You put Titan on, you get everybody. Like, you could have one person in the chat, that person's bitching about Titan. Like, I don't want to watch this shit. And so, I guess Titan's kind of a problem because nobody fucking wants to watch it ever.
No.
And like you put the videos on YouTube, nobody's watching that shit. Nobody cares about Titan. Nobody cares about Titan.
No, but we're stuck, man. We don't want to put the shit like we.
The thing is, at the end of the night, if we have two people who are undefeated, we're gonna put on the undefeated people.
So you know how we solve this? More people playing Magic.
Yeah, that's
in the store.
Yeah.
So. For anybody that doesn't want to watch...
If you don't want to see Titan, then come with a deck and beat Titan. So we don't have to watch it.
Not even come in the deck and beat Titan. Just come to the fucking store and play so we have other options to put on.
Yeah. Like, don't play Titan, though, because if we have
play anything other than Titan. But if you don't want to see Titan...
undefeated Titan decks, that doesn't help anybody.
The best solution for us is to have more things playing in the store so this doesn't happen.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you don't like seeing Titan, come play... and then we might not have to watch
Maybe we can do a better
Titan.
job, John. Maybe
we just don't ever put Titan on?
No, maybe that's not true. But like maybe in a situation like this, maybe there's a battle of a couple of people who are X1 that like maybe is a better matchup. Maybe we need to take a harder look at that and see, especially in a case like this where John these guys probably already have points maybe later in the season.
I'm fine not putting this stuff on myself. I mean,
I don't know.
We don't have to stick to the 2 O's.
You know what? We're fucking lazy. All right. So 10 o'clock, like we haven't slept in forever. Like it's 12:15 here. Like we're like fucking tired. We don't know what's going on. Like most of the time there's nobody fucking on this late. But like we just want to get fucking through it. But
I mean, we do try to stick to the winning decks, and unfortunately these are the winning decks, and so what will help is we don't stick to just the winning decks.
What was that, Tom? I see you were calling out to me.
We'll get some different, we'll get some different matches going. We'll get some underdogs in here and see something else.
This is bad. This is trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, that's it. That's the last time we're gonna put Titan on.
All right.
You heard it here and now. No more Titan.
Do you want to try to find something more intriguing, or are we just getting the fuck out, John?
Oh, we can go see. We can go take a gander. If we can't find anything, we can
moving around.
We can come back and sign off. That was Commander, kids.
Okay. All right. Stay tuned for just a minute.
Just a minute, and then if not, we'll come sign off.